Feelings that you are not
look,
what?
I know this, Steven, shut the fuck up. Listen.
Wait, you're not making it.
Come on, dude.
Steven, listen.
What's going on in here, guys?
There's a lot of shit going on, dude.
What's going on? What kind of shit?
Oh shit, I didn't even hear it was you, Destiny. What's up?
Well, why does it
No,
change who
nothing's
it
going on
is?
right
Wow,
now.
you gotta treat me completely differently, dude?
Yeah, I've been fucking waiting for you forever, dude.
Oh, what do you want? What do you
You
waiting
should come in
for?
earlier. There were like a ton of people waiting to dick fry you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm here now, my dude.
Cool shit. No, there's nothing going on, honestly.
Whoa.
You could go down to game 4. Pearsall is bound to fucking spread some autism.
Why? What's Pearsall doing?
I don't know. But it's Pearsall.
Has he been acting extra autistic lately, or?
Nah, that's just him.
Okay.
You debated him, you know him.
Wait, what did we debate about? I forgot.
About the guy... The guy who, like, left work early or whatever.
Oh shit, I remember. Never mind.
Destiny, do you actually base your the foundation of your argument off of the social contracts? Because some people say you don't actually like the social contract part.
Why? Then why would I say it? Why do these people think I just
These
like
are-
make up shit for fun? Like,
No,
just
these are what people are saying.
I mean, you do.
like what? Give me an example.
I can't.
What?
Your username on.
Okay, so there are no examples. Okay, good job, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was just verifying with you because people were saying that you were just using that because the vegan gains guy said it a lot and seemed to interpret your argument that way.
Reciprocation is pretty important to me, my dude. Okay. I don't know if that fucking counts as social contract or not. I've never used that term before, but.
Wait, so you
didn't?
You just said that you actually do believe in the social contract.
I
part,
might,
but now you're
with the
saying
way
you
that it's
don't
been
know.
described to me, but I've never like looked at it that way before. I guess I don't know.
Oh shit, okay.
So is there another way?
I
Is
don't
there
know.
another way
I've
to
already
interpret?
I've laid out how I feel about it. If that is social contract, then social contract is what I believe in, I guess.
You accept logic as your core value?
Yep, good job, Sylvian. Nice 1 out of 10 meme in there. Woof.
I said it with a lot of
Hey.
confidence too, not average of a person like
So a
me.
1 out of 10
Fucking
meme said
Sylvian.
with 9 out of 10 confidence is still a 1 out of 10 meme.
Steven, look, the main issue about the social contract thing
Oh yeah.
is that you wouldn't be able to run over animals. We all know you wouldn't.
Why do
In
you
the-
say
in
that?
the road and such,
First
the
of all,
highway.
even if I wouldn't, that speaks nothing to my arguments.
No, I know, exactly. But the point is that you wouldn't do it.
What? How
and
is that the
that
point?
kinda-
What does that prove?
No, it is a point based on like feelings that you are not truthful regarding the social contract mean.
Feelings that
And
you are not
look, I know
what?
this, Steven, shut the fuck up. Listen.
Wait, you're not making it.
Come on, dude.
Steven, listen. The
Treat
thing is
them
that
well.
it doesn't really matter if the point stands on its own, because you are not like a truthful like steward of the point of the social contract. That is the
Wait,
main
why?
issue.
Because you're making up some example about me not running over animals on the road?
Exactly.
Destiny, you don't have to yell. Can
exactly.
you just talk normally?
Because it is based on Philly Willies of the leftists and such. Look, I mean, I agree with the entire social contract point because it is like you did a good job in the argument and such. But regarding the wordiness of defending the social contract towards people that are based their arguments against the social contract on feelings, it doesn't really hold up.
I don't understand what you're saying that I disagree with.
Okay, the social contract is not
Do you understand
a
anything?
holistic argument. It is a almost scientific argument towards defending the meat eaters and stuff.
Oh, wait. So what's wrong with it?
The issue that's wrong with it is that you can't sell the social contract to people that aren't psychopaths.
Oh, sure, that's
You
possible.
can't sell the idea.
Why not just say that?
Because it doesn't sound as good.
What? No, that
Doesn't
sounded
sound
perfectly
smart.
rational. That's a totally pragmatic position to take. The idea that whatever brand of morality I'm selling is impossible because most people won't drive with it. Sure, a lot of people are naturally wired for empathetic responses, and torturing animals and shit evokes a visceral response in a lot of people. That's 100% a legitimate point. I don't know why you wouldn't open with that instead of going into this tangential autism about whatever other shit.
Because it really, because that's how it works. I'm trying to set up the entire idea, dude.
By starting off with a non sequitur? By starting off with...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you do it, right? And then you arrive at the punchline.
Exactly.
You know,
Okay.
That's how I make jokes too. I just fucking rant about something.
you really feel no empathy though?
Punchline. What?
Huh?
I was asking Destiny, does it really feel no empathy toward
I don't
pets
know,
or
but I'm
animals?
probably a little bit more psychopathic than the
I'm just
average
asking.
person, so I totally admit that. But I just don't
Hell yeah.
But like this is frustrating when I'm trying to lay out what I feel is a rational argument, and it keeps coming back
It
to
is
like,
rational,
so
but-
you don't feel like any pain at all when you see an animal die, and like you're like, well, maybe I do, maybe I don't, but like these aren't good. This is why I don't like it. And I told Vegan Gains just as much. I don't like it when if you try to use me as a personal example because one, I'm probably not like the average person in terms of how I process these things, and I understand that. And two, even if I was, it doesn't really go to furthering any of your arguments.
Does anyone have the original
So you
fidget
wouldn't wanna
spinner
be skinned
interstellar
alive
clip at the end of
by
the
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 highlights?
thing is that it makes you less
Videos, PLC
Relatable?
response.
Hold on one second.
relatable.
It makes me palatable.
Relatable? No?
No, when you
Relatable?
try to
Relatable?
identify yourself
gave you
with
the
another
word, boy.
person.
Wait, palpable? Wait, what?
Relatable, yeah.
Relatable.
Oh, relatable.
Relatable.
Oh yeah, sure, but I'm not
Relatable.
trying to be relatable. That's not my goal. If I wanted to be relatable, then I would argue in different ways. But my goal with Vegan Gains wasn't what's the
Jesus Christ. Why?
The timing there.
my goal with
what's
Vegan
that?
Gains wasn't to be the most relatable person or to what's the most pragmatic way to convince vegans to eat meat or something. My goal
Yeah,
was to just
exactly.
lay forth a rational defense of meat eating.
No, and you did. The main issue is that Vegan Games was trying to do exactly that. Was trying to
Lay
you
out-
to make an argument that was like dumb but relatable.
Yeah. Oh
Relatable.
yeah, of course. That's yeah. But
Relatable.
which is what was so
Your
frustrating for
language
him is
stupid.
because
Shut up.
okay, chill out. How many languages do you guys speak? Fuck off, okay? So the problem is that he kept trying to bring it back.
Well, I speak two at least. Okay.
Wait, what
Actually,
language do you speak?
four.
Swedish.
So, oh God, of course you'd be arrogant enough to make fun of somebody else's language because they're fucking Swedish. You fucking
I'm sorry.
cunt.
I'm sorry. Okay.
The
It's just
Can't
it's
say
not that he
it.
can't say it. It's that we told him what to say.
Fucking
I'm to say it like a billion times. I don't know.
God, I fucking hate Swedish people. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Oh my God, dude, I'm just so triggered already. It's so early.
Oh boy. It's me enforcing, right?
I really don't
Let's
like
have
the
a plan.
Slovenians on the server.
Just
Some of them
tuned
are
in.
nice.
Are you
I
don't like
gonna
Slovene.
play
How
the
about
new
that?
BG update
You're
today?
Portuguese.
Well,
You're not
you guys should
Scandinavian.
debate about it.
Yeah, but I
Also,
don't like you
Destiny,
anyway.
Dark Souls 3 DLC.
Okay.
Wow.
Can we not?
Destiny?
Yeah,
I'm
let
just
him
kidding.
speak. What did you want to say, Steven, regarding like that you didn't want to like show up as a human person and instead as a entity of logic?
I have no idea what you just said.
What the
Steven
fuck do you
didn't
know?
want to show up as a real person, and instead he wanted to show up as a pure entity of logic. Click, click.
Okay, but like when you're having a logical argument, what am I supposed to do? Like, why would I sit here and bullshit you with appeals to emotion if we're supposed to be providing a rational defense for a particular?
Because that's how debates work in the 21st century, dude.
Okay, but that's not.
2017.
You can acknowledge emotions while being logical.
No, you
right?
can't. They're a
No.
horrible
Exactly,
foundation
that
to
is the
build.
problem.
They're a
Yes,
horrible foundation to build, and I could give you a million examples of why emotions are a horrible way to build any type of rational argument.
I
Do you
don't.
not
I don't
think
disagree that there are
emotions
bad
are-
ways to do it. I just think that there's probably
You
like
can
rational-
acknowledge them in so much
Totally.
as that they're
A
basis
reality.
for people's arguments, or that, but that's usually to point out the flaws in that emotional.
If you think about it, like emotions are the only objective thing you have to base it, like
No.
Emotions
morality
by
on,
nature
right?
are rational.
They exist.
They're,
They're
not
real.
objective.
They
They're
have
not.
Yeah, but we're not
they
debating.
exist.
Yeah, but we're not debating the nature of the existence of emotions. That's not what we're debating, right?
Yeah, but
That's
I'm-
not what- yeah, they're
just
real.
saying, like,
they
they're-
exist.
they're-
I wouldn't say that emotions are like non-existent, right? That would be a ridiculous statement. But we're not arguing about the existence
Yeah,
of
me neither.
emotions. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, you can argue with emotions, like talk about them in
Sure.
a moral while arguing moral. I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
don't
that's the point that
No,
I'm
you
trying to make.
clearly don't.
Can I ask a question?
The main point that I'm trying to make is that.
Yeah, what's up, buddy? Or who?
Like the main point that I'm trying to make is that if you try to show up as a person as an entity made of logic, click click, then you are losing the.
You're losing the debate.
Life.
No.
You are losing the strength that you can use emotions to push your narrative, your ideas further than you would with like.
He already said he wasn't trying to push.
Yeah,
his
but
narrative.
again, I'm not trying to do that.
No.
He was being real as fuck.
Yeah, why would you be interested in that
and
at all?
that is exactly the main issue that I see, Steven.
Okay, but I guess
not trying to do that.
I just feel like I had a totally different goal in this conversation than what you seem to think I should have had.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep. I don't know.
This is really making me think. I don't know about you.
Our understanding was wrong, and the way you were speaking was perfectly right. I got it.
Yeah, no, the thing is that Destiny lacked an agenda regarding going into the thing, and that is exactly
just
what I
wanted
see
to
the
debate
problem
the
with.
idea. It's not that weird. What?
Yeah, he wanted to like debate vegan gains and try to make a good argument that stands on
what you
its
should
own.
do.
But that is exactly the problem, because a good argument that stands on its own on the 21st century on the internet, where everything is like fake and such and based on emotions, doesn't stand on its own.
I don't
because
know
it is
about
not
that.
based
I don't
on
think you
emotions.
need to. I don't think you need to appeal to emotion to make a good argument, even a convincing
You don't
one.
need to, but if you appeal
No.
to emotions, then your argument will be more.
Then your argument's like objectively worse.
No,
I don't know.
your
Yes, it
argument
is.
is objectively more relatable.
Convincing?
More, you can sell it easily, more
Wait,
easily.
are we just talking about effectiveness here, or something more?
Your argument appeals to the
only
lowest common
effectiveness is where-
denominator.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
objectively better.
Well, then there's no debate, right?
That's a really dumb
okay,
point.
that doesn't mean it's a better argument. It just means it's perhaps a more convincing
broader.
argument. But I'm not even sure about
Yeah,
that.
and it is as such, because it appeals to the lowest common denominator, then it can be spread more
Yeah,
easily.
even the
across
dumbest person
populations.
can relate to Destiny or relate.
And
to
if you're a
Veganism's
minority,
argument.
you'll relate to minority
What's the
groups,
point?
dude.
Hey. I should be taking offense to that, but I don't.
All
But
them
I don't think that was
people.
anyone's goal. Right.
The thing is that the way you are trying to look at this is that you're trying to make something that is completely.
How about maybe you
different,
just want to foster an
completely
attitude
logical
that's
on its own, and that is the issue.
That's
Because
fucking bullshit anyway.
trying to sell out this idea is not completely logical on its own, because it has a huge amount of feelings and such.
I don't
trying
disagree
to
with you, but
attack-
we're talking about two totally different things. My goal is not to convert people or whatever.
Steven, I know. I'm trying to like sell out my idea that you should sell out ideas via emotion more. And
No,
not
fuck
just
that. I have no
being
interest
full
in that.
autistic.
Or it depends on what I'm arguing. If it's something that's like policy related or whatever, I'll try to sell it more on emotions. But like, if we're literally having like a literal philosophical discussion, like a literal, like removed from all reality, like let's have a philosophical discussion on the efficacy of some behavior, like I'm not gonna appeal to emotion in that discussion. That seems really inappropriate. Now, if I was having a discussion with somebody on like what should the future policy be on like farming or agriculture in the United States, now at that point, I can start to have a discussion on more like emotional things, right? Because now we're moving into kind of a different.
I don't even think.
I'm not sure. I think you can use like even less emotion in the future of agriculture than on meat eating.
The problem
Hell
is that
yeah.
people are
But you
so
don't need-
used to emotion in policy arguments that they think that it extends to all types of arguments, including philosophical ones. That's because that's what people know in terms of debate or arguments. Is that
I don't buy that.
they're only
I can't
really
say I've
familiar
ever
with,
encountered that
policy
before.
ones.
It's really
Sports,
weird.
I don't think that. I think you're maybe extending. Or
I mean,
The thing is that I see meat eating and everything like related to that, but on a personal level for like so many people that I don't think that you can like change anyone's perspective with just logic click click.
Change anyone's
Why is it even important?
It's
to
not
change
about. Well,
vegan?
no. The important thing is that you can have. First of all, if I were to convert anybody, it would be converting meat eaters to vegans because it's so fucking easy to do.
I know.
Firstly, secondly, you can only begin that conversion if you, in my opinion, if you're on a logical, sound basis, right? So, like for instance, like logically, I can lay out a good case for what I believe is a rational defense of meat eating, and then I can use that logical case and then start to appeal to emotion from people that are meat eaters to convince them to be vegan, right? But that only works because I've got the logical foundation behind me. But if you just like go purely off of emotion, then you're just sitting there like shouting at each other, and you don't really have any kind of basis for any of your points.
No, I'm not saying that shouting at each other. What you see as emotion is not what.
No. I'm sorry. Hold on. Stop. Okay, language barrier. When I say shouting at each other, I don't mean literally shouting at each other. I just mean you're talking past foundational beliefs. So you've got two people that are arguing something, but they're talking way past the point. They're like they've already missed the stop, and they're talking about stuff that they're never going to agree on.
The thing that I will say against that is that you can be more empathic and you can understand the position of the other person without going full deep into like logic, click detail. And well, and the entire thing is that you can understand the position of the other person without going into like full into logic.
I already understand the position of the other person.
What use?
I already understand the position of the other person. What does that have to do with anything?
You can understand the position of the other person and build a logic base of your own argument while using sentimental feelings to attack the other person's position. For example, you have the position about meat eater, and you said yourself that the best thing for the entire human population will be to eat less meat. It will be best in basically every shape and form. As such, you can create a good solid argument to meat eater and make that position morally undefensible, because it will be like go way beyond what anyone that likes eating meat will accept for its own moral values. And as such, an example that
I'm totally lost. I'm totally lost. I can do all of this, but what's your point? I don't understand. Like, I mean, this is something I can do.
My point is that depending on what you want to do, if you want to attack and defend a position using arguments that are based on feelings or like something repulsive, it is far better than using logic alone.
Okay,
it is far more.
I guess I just don't agree with that position at all. Maybe if your end goal, I think we have two different end goals, is why we're not seeing eye to eye on this. Because I think your end goal is to convince people that you're correct. My end goal was just to provide a rationally consistent foundation for meat eating.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. My goal was never to convince other people, or I guess even to win an argument over. My goal was to provide a rationally consistent foundation for meat, not to convert people into being meat eaters. If that.
Did you say
no? Okay. No, I was saying it from the angle that you have this structure, this logical structure of how to defend meat eater. But I was seeing in the angle that me and other people trying to, for example, discuss about how meat eating is still bad and exactly, etc., etc. But yeah, no, it is okay. If that was your end goal, then there is not much I can say about it.
Sure. You can debate veganism with logic and without feelings.
Yeah, but he's saying that if you want to convince people that you're right, you have to incorporate more humanistic aspects to your argument.
That's just more like know your audience, right? If you've got a bunch of people who are predisposed to feelings, and you'd be bringing feels argument to it. If you've got some autistic people here, you just use the logic.
Wow.
So, Destiny, you're against using emotion in argument because you can get to a point where you're just talking past each other based on...
I'm against using emotion because emotion isn't a good arbitrator of what is right or wrong, and emotion doesn't lead you down any logically consistent paths. It just is... It's a byproduct of evolution. It doesn't work cognitively in determining what's good or bad.
Couldn't people disagree on basic axioms of their logical argument?
Well, of course, people disagree on basic axioms all the time. Are you making an
how
argument?
is that different?
How is you cannot, if you want to try to defend the position that emotions can provide you good, consistent morals, then I can try to give you a million examples, and you could try to talk your way out of them if you want.
I mean, using the same argument, I could give you a million examples of logical arguments where people disagree on basic axioms.
Give me one. So my saying is that I can give you logical systems that deliver consistent answers that are self-consistent, at least in the axiomatic framework that you would give. They would be self-consistent. If I believe in a certain thing, I can use logic to ensure that it will always happen. Whereas emotionally, it's very hard to get any kind of unless your axiom is literally my emotion tells me the truth. If that's your like axiomatic framework, then yeah. But that's the only framework where emotions will consistently deliver a consistent answer. Otherwise, they're wildly inconsistent and can lead you into places that are wildly inconsistent with almost every single moral framework ever established in all of humanity.
See, but I think you're trying to place emotion inside logic when emotion is a completely different form of thinking.
It's not a form of thinking. It's not thinking. It's anti-thinking.
It is a form of thinking. You can't say it's not a form of thinking.
It's literally the opposite of thinking.
Anything that you feel is a form of thinking.
Okay, well, if you semantically want to identify as that, that's fine. But then what semantic word do I have to use to establish, like, cognitively, like, running through a process to see if it's rational or not? Because it's not emotion. Whatever you want to call that word, then, is how I would define thinking.
Magic. The main issue here is that, yes.
No, his name is Magic. He's talking to him.
His name is Magic
emotions
Turtle
as such
12?
is a form of thinking. But the thing is that it is the lowest common denominator of ways of thinking. It is literally using your lizard brain to derive some results of something. It is not a good idea.
Emotion
it is not a good.
Actually, not thinking.
I mean, I'm not even a huge
I've never
defender
heard
of
of a psychological theory that defines emotion as thinking.
I'm not even a huge defender of using emotion as a way of logically figuring out the world and making rational decisions. I'm just saying I feel like, trying to place emotion inside this logical framework and trying to think of it as logic.
I don't think of emotion as logic. I disregard it entirely.
I don't think that can be used.
Because logic is very binary, 0, 1. Like, you have yes or no answers, but emotion is a very grayscale.
What? Well, emotion can be binary. Listen, emotion is what you would use from like an evolutionary psych point of view, or from a biological point of view. That's all you would use emotion to argue. Like, evolutionarily, maybe, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, those are the only frameworks that emotion is relevant in. Otherwise, it's pretty much completely irrelevant.
Wait, you're saying based on evolution, emotion gives us the evolutionary correct decision?
Yeah, probably. I would say so.
Most of the time, not always, though.
Yeah, why do people feel bad when they see an animal
think
die?
of it as an
Why? Because
evolutionary
people are
heuristic,
naturally wired to be empathetic, and because we have a tendency to anthropomorphize.
Wouldn't it be
We evolved
productive
to be empathetic.
to eat that meat of that animal that's dying?
No,
it's a byproduct of feeling empathetic towards
humans.
beings,
yeah,
right?
I guess I don't know. Yeah, there's some shit in there.
It's not it's only the shortest path towards the least effort goal, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think you can ever be like truly logic, like completely remove feelings? I kind of feel like if you attempt to, you
kind of feels like he doesn't know.
trick yourself.
Well, I mean, there was one good example
of
people who try to quit smoking when they consider having kids. Isn't that like sort of garnering the long-term method over short-term method, which should go against the human bias?
Wait, what?
Like, so people employing logic over their human emotional biases. An example of that would be their long-term goals of having children versus their short-term goals of smoking and drinking. And people achieve this push all the way solely for the idea that they're going to be having kids.
Wait, so they stop smoking or start smoking?
No, stop smoking. I'm trying to piece together as an example of them using logic to overcome their emotional bias. Of like, the
bias is not only emotional, though. Like, the bias is way more than emotion. We have logical biases and heuristics as well that are not emotional.
Listen, emotion is just a shit way to determine what's right or wrong, okay?
Konzo, you hot mic.
Well, you're right about that much, okay?
Every time you have a preference on something, it's ultimately based or rooted on emotion on some level. Am I wrong? I don't know.
Every time you what?
Every time you have a preference or like you dislike something, it's ultimately based on emotion, I think, or on instinct.
It's a feature of your psychology. It doesn't have to be emotion.
Yeah, I guess.
To a certain degree, yeah, because ethics is to a certain degree also based on emotion.
So,
obviously,
like every time you have a preference, which means it would govern most of your moral framework, right? I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is that we have emotion as the core base, and over that we have ethics. And we don't need the core base of emotion to have nowadays ethics. Ethics is a thing on its own.
I can't understand very well. I'm sorry. You said we have emotion as the core base, but we don't need.
Yeah, we don't nowadays. We don't really need emotion at its core because we have ethics.
I don't know.
We don't. Emotion is like outdated.
It's really not.
It's the past. It is the old hardware.